time prophecy.
What do you eat to the glory of God?
That's a cut, man.
Well, you just cut yourself, man.
See, that's what's that called?
You cut yourself.
Have you ever seen those videos where a guy's chugging along?
You can't
he's
just
about
eat
to win the
anything.
race and he's like this, and then the dude passes.
So that's the difference
this
between
is
us.
you. That's
the
a
law.
cut. Declaring victory doesn't mean you gave a biblical answer.
No,
You guys are filled with that's a cut. This is a cut.
The word of God is the two
I
edged
repeated
sword.
the scripture.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
repeated the scripture, didn't I? Every time.
Can you answer the question? I'm not going to the scripture.
Whatever you eat to the glory of God.
Okay.
Is that in the Bible?
You
Yes
even
or
an
no?
electric eel?
Does the Bible say that? Yes or no? Yeah, even an electric eel. If you want to eat an electric eel after it's killed and no longer electric, go ahead.
All right.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 31. Whatsoever ye eat or drink, or whatsoever ye do, do all to the glory of the Most High. This is your brother Abarawan, giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and pushing this 100% truth of the gospel to the four corners of the earth, helping to wake up and to seal the elect of the nation of Israel. And salutation to you, sincere Akiwa, that are pushing this gospel in truth and sincerity, risking your lives and your freedom to do so. So this is going to be part 2 of the video I was doing, in which Christians don't believe in the name of the Most High, but they believe in eating human's flesh. And that video that I just put up, before this one, in the post that of vocab, that vocab's 15 minutes of falling, in which he said that all things are lawful to eat. And I said that whatever you eat, do so in the glory of the Most High. So this is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 31. This was the scripture that I was quoting. And even though he was just quoting it off of his head, butchering that precept, and he didn't even actually go into it and read it verbatim. So this is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 31. Whether therefore ye eat or drink, or whatsoever ye do, do all to the glory of the Most High, or to the glory of God. I already read that before, but I read it again. Okay. So the precept is telling that in everything that you do it to the glory of the Most High. Not specifically telling you that when you eat, that whatever you eat, you will give thanks. You will give thanks or you give glory to Most High Yahweh and Shai. So what this means is that what vocab is saying is clearly that even if you eat human's flesh, even if you are committing the act of cannibalism, when you do so, you should give thanks to the Most High. And it will all be good, as scriptures, as it will all be good, as that scripture says in forgotten that precept in book of Acts, it is in the 8th or the 10th chapter, kill and eat. So that means that even if you kill and eat a human being, or you kill and eat human flesh, it's all good. Is why I wrote in the video that vocab, that Christians believe in eating human flesh, because vocab isn't alone in this is belief. A good amount, a decent amount, most of Christianity believes that all meat or all flesh is lawful to eat. In other words, they're also saying that human flesh is also okay to eat. Human flesh is fair game. You can kill a human being and eat his meat. It doesn't matter if you don't even need to kill himself, because if you can just eat the meat of a dead human, you can just get the meat of a dead human, like they do organ donations. You can just do meat donations and take the meat. You don't have to kill the human. You can just take the meat of a human that died of a disease, or that died of itself, or that was killed by another human being, or by an animal. And since these Christians don't keep the dietary laws, they definitely won't keep that law. And I'll get that law in book of Leviticus. The book of Leviticus. I think it's the 20th. Let me just type it. Any animal that died of itself, because we have a law like that in Israel. That we had a law like that any animal that died of itself, or that died of itself, or that was killed by another animal. In other words, that was killed by a lion and torn apart. That it was not lawful to eat that kind of animal. So let me get to this is the book of Leviticus chapter 22, and I'll start from verse 8. That which dieth of itself, or is torn with beasts, he shall not eat to defile himself therewith. I am Yahweh. That is basically the law right there. Any animal, any animal that is lawful to eat. And you can go to Leviticus chapter 11 chapter to find out which animals are lawful to eat. But any animal that is lawful to eat, and it died of itself, died of a natural death, was killed by an animal, or you see its corpse on the road, you can't eat it because the corpse of a dead animal is considered unclean. The corpse of an animal is considered unclean, especially specifically if it wasn't killed for the sole purpose of being eaten by human beings. Then it's considered unclean. So the next precept we'll get is the precept in the book of Acts chapter 10. The precept that these Christians use to as an excuse for their wickedness of eating all the meat that is on this earth, even the meat that is not lawful to eat, which is also a precept that they misinterpreted the precept, which for me is what I'm looking for is ridiculous. It's ridiculous because it's so clear what this was talking about. Even the apostle Peter said in his own mouth, now I understand what this vision meant. That it did not mean that you can eat any meat that you want, but it meant that the Israelite foreigners, the Gentiles, the men that were the Israelites that don't know that they were Israelites, that they had every right as to be an Israelite. They had as much rights. They had as much rights as a regular Israelite. They had as much what's what I'm looking for. They had as much rights to the salvation and the gospel of Yahweh as regular, as Jews, as the Jews, the Israelites that knew that they were Israel. So we'll get this in the book of Acts chapter 10, and I'll start from I'll start from verse 10. And he became very hungry and would have eaten, but while they made ready, he fell into a trance, and saw heaven opened, and a certain vessel descending unto him as it had been a great sheet knit at the four corners and let down to the earth, wherein were all manner of four-footed beasts of the earth, and wild beasts, and creeping things, and fowls of the air. And there came a voice to him, Rise, Peter, kill and eat. But Peter said, Not so, Lord, for I have never eaten anything that is common or unclean. And a voice spake unto him again the second time, What God hath cleansed, call not thou common. This was done thrice, and the vessel was received up again unto heaven. And if you continue down, it will tell you that Peter doubted what this word says, because he knew that the Most High would never allow, never command his people to eat anything that is unclean. They never command an Israelite to eat anything that was not lawful to eat. After he had given them the law, the dietary laws that did not take it away from them. As scriptures say that is in the book of Baruch, that all laws, that the laws endureth forever. And that is in the book of Baruch. I believe it's in the second and the fourth chapter. I'm not in my apocrypha right here, so I'm just going to get it in my in another Bible that I have with me. You just bear with me while I go to it. So this is the book of Baruch chapter 4 verse 1, and it reads, This is the book of the commandments of power, and the law that endureth forever, and all they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. And there's also another precept in the book of First Kings that tells you that you follow the basically says that you should follow the laws. Just like I don't really know the precept for that one. So you have to bear with you just have to bear with me. Okay, it's like I meant First Kings chapter 2 verse 3. I think that is it. I'm trying to remember let me just go to it and check. Okay, so this book of First Kings chapter 2 verse 3, and it reads, And keep charge of Yahweh thy power, and keep the charge of Yahweh thy power, to walk in his ways, and to keep his statutes and his commandments and his judgments and his testimonies, as it is written in the law of Moses, that thou mayest prosper in all that thou doest, and whithersoever thou turnest thyself. And because basically this is how this planet is set up, for all these laws to be followed. All these laws have to be followed. That is how this planet is set up. And these Christians, specifically in this case vocab, where it says that you don't need to keep the dietary laws anymore because they are done away with. So go back to the book of Acts chapter 10 and we keep on reading and see whether that's actually the case. Whether these dietary laws are actually truly done away with. Because all this came from the fact that all this is from they came from Cornelius, the Greek, which Cornelius was an Israelite, but he was called a Greek because that's where he lived, and that is you know basically he was an Israelite foreigner that was calling himself a Greek. You know, Cornelius, and that's where this whole topic came from. So I'm just going to go down to that. I'm going to what I'm looking for. I'm going to jump down to where Peter said that he now understood what that vision which the Most High showed him was, because that vision would not mean that from now on that all flesh was free to eat, that you could eat whatever you wanted to eat. It just simply meant that Peter should go forth and preach this gospel, not just to the Jews but also to the Gentiles, which are the Israelite foreigners, the people that were living that were scattered in all these other nations that did not know that they were Israelites. You know. So I'm just looking for where he. I'm looking for where he said that. All right, I'm just going to go to I'm just looking forward to start from. Okay, so this is the book of Acts chapter 10 verse 25. And as Peter was coming in, Cornelius met him and fell down at his feet and worshipped him. But Peter took him up, saying, "Stand up, I myself also am a man." And as he talked with him, he went in and found many that were come together. And he said unto them, Ye know how that it is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company or come unto one of another nation. But the, but but God hath showed me that I should not call any man common or unclean. So during that time, the Jews shunned the other nations, the Gentiles, because they believe that all these other nations, that if you are someone that looked like a person from another nation, that you are basically just a heathen automatically, that you are a Gentile, and because of that you are profane out of the temple. You are not you are not a part of because you're not an Israelite. You are basically a heathen, and you are rejected by the Most High. But they don't understand that. Some of these people that look like other nations, they were the Israelite foreign. Their line still goes back to the line of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They were still Israelites. Because they were scattered and mixed and mingled with these other nations, they now took on the appearance of these other nations, but their blood, the blood that flowed in them was still the blood of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the blood of Israelites. That's why the Most High gave this vision to Peter, because he says that do not call any man common or unclean. First, because you have to test the spirit first. As the scripture says, try the spirit by the spirit. So you test the spirit first to know whether this man, the person you are speaking to, is a Gentile or is an Israelite. Because the same way that you have Israelites that look like all the other nations, you also have the other nations that look like Israelites. You always speak about it, how you have some Edomites that are very, very dark skinned, and that probably look like Israelites, and they will come in. That's where that precept of the wheat and the tears comes from. There will be physical tears, physical tears, because they look like Israel, but they are not even, but they are not Israelites, because their bloodline is not that of Israel. And this right here is the interpretation of that vision which Paul saw. It's like I mean Peter saw. And these Christians, they will completely ignore this part, from the 20th verse, from Acts the 20th, from Acts chapter 10, the 20th verse on down to the end. They'll completely ignore all that part and just say that I just only take the part of the first of Acts, chapter 10, the first chapter, all the way to 20th chapter, and act like that was the whole chapter. Like there was no deeper meaning to that vision. That they just meant that you can kill and eat whatever animal you like now. No longer have to follow these dietary laws that I wrote up for you. I decided to give you these laws, and then at this fixed time, I decided to take them away from you. But that's not what it meant. It meant that it meant that you should not discriminate that you should not discriminate specifically when you are preaching this gospel, man, because you never know what person will come up to you, even though it looks like another nation. It could be an Israelite, they could even be part of the elect. Because it doesn't look like your average Israelite, because it doesn't look like average Negro Latino or Native American, you want to shun him away because you think that he's some kind of heathen, or because it looks like an Edomite, you want to shun him away, but without realizing that this is actually one of the elect, one of the scattered of our people. We should not just preach to those that we know are Israelites, but we should also preach to everybody. It is because he just said that the world will gather them. That the spirit of the Most High is doing the gathering. That's why we're preaching the Harris and the Bible. That's why you preach in every nation that we've been scattered. That's why the others and the apostles. There are hundreds of that's why there are hundreds of Israelite camps in just Babylon the Great alone. Because we're trying to preach this gospel to the folk out of the earth, to bring out our people that are scattered to these nations, to make sure that they hate this gospel, to make sure that they understand these words, not and this precept and this Act the 10th chapter. It is a precept, to verify that fact, and it's not a precept that proves that the Hebrew Israelites, that we are not just we're not just all black, like some of these people believe, these black only Israelites. I believe that all Israelites will be dark skinned. We're not just so called black. They come in all kinds. We come in every single nationality, every single racial. We come in every single nationality. We come in. You see Asian Israelites, Edomite Israelites, Arabic Israelites, even even Israelites that are living in the land of Israel, that believe that they are Israelis. You see Israelites that look like that as well. And this isn't an excuse for you devils to eat whatever food you like. You like, especially and specifically humans, especially the unclean foods, because they use this precept, like I said before, they will use these precepts for just that, to justify eating unclean foods, which means that since they can eat anything that they like, they can also eat human flesh, right? You can also eat the flesh of your fellow man, or your fellow human beings. I know that, and the time is coming pretty soon where people actually do that, because there's actually prophecies about it. How men will start, how during time of famine, people will start eating other humans, But that is a topic for another day. Maybe I'll do something on cannibalism. Anyway, with that, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Bashim, Rakakwadash, and I hope you brothers are edified by this video through the Spirit. Shalom.